That's fascism, and that's why
What's
it's really
fascism
getting
now
to
is Joe Biden's son getting a
fascism.
billion dollars from Ukraine prior to the war and them sending billions back to that country. That's
I
fascist.
think we need to stop.
That's very
Okay,
fascist. I don't agree with us sending all our money down there when you have poor kids in Atlanta and homeless in Atlanta. That's not, you see, and that's what we get. Don't call a Republican trying to have me vote for no damn Senator Warnock.
Man, he straight destroyed her with facts. What up? It's your boy Craig Long 45. I'm back. I got a fire story. I can't wait to share it with you, especially when someone puts a Democrat in their place. When someone's trying to spread more lies of people that are on the Republican side, on the right side of history. It's always great and sweet to the ear to see and to hear. So I can't wait to share that with you. As you guys know, we have an important Senate seat up for grabs in Georgia. We don't got to go into the details of what happened, and we shouldn't even be at a runoff. We know the same thing that happened in Arizona is what's taking place in Georgia. This Senate seat, this runoff that's currently going on right now is between Herschel Walker for the Republican Party and Raphael Warnock for the Democratic Party. If you don't know who Raphael Warnock is, he is a far left bat extremist. He is definitely a wolf dressed in sheep clothes. I don't know how he's a pastor. I don't know what church follows him. He's definitely not preaching the word of God in my eyes, in my opinion. I don't know how you are representing a Democratic Party, a regime that has been installed that pushes demonic ideology within society. I don't know how you're a pastor that pushes values and ideology that goes completely against God's ways, but we'll digress. As a matter of fact, he's so off the chain, allegedly he ran his wife's foot over and she filed a police report and broke down how he's very good at acting. For those that don't know who Raphael Warnock is. So they have an important runoff race going on right now as we speak. But this story, what's so crazy about it is because of the runoff, Warnock's campaign called up this Tennessee veteran trying to get him to vote in Georgia, trying to get him to vote for Warnock, which is a Democrat, and he wasn't having it.
And
That is why Trump, that's why Trump loves autocrats like Putin and Bolsonaro and all the rest of them.
that does
That
make,
he's from the Palestine.
and you
Yeah,
know,
but this was,
and everything you're saying,
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. I was just wondering, because you never had opportunity to live in Georgia. I did. I lived in Georgia for most of my life, but I lived in Atlanta for 3 years. And Atlanta is considered like the Mecca of Georgia. Like, that's the epitome of wealth in Georgia. And I tell you,
yeah.
Atlanta is the only city I've seen where the richest areas are the richest gas stations. You see people getting robbed, mugged, kidnapped, etc. Downtown,
Oh my God.
yeah, you hear constant shootings downtown and everything, and it's crazy. And
Well, no, I hear you. Well, that has probably, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it probably has to do with the pure inequality of
yeah,
wealth that is trying to be cemented in this
and I can
country. It's
understand
been
that, but
going
I'm
on
black,
for a long
and
time.
I'm black, and I understand that. But I'll tell you, as a black man myself, actually being black and understanding equality and coming from very humble beginnings and doing well for myself now, I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of people choose to do the things they did down there, and I've seen the people that was leadership down there, and I know if the leadership was red, the people that's blue, they would claim that the red people are responsible for it. But since blue has been in charge of Atlanta for so long, and their murder rates are rising, the infrastructure is horrible, the traffic is getting worse. I mean, it is literally like one of the human trafficking hubs. Women out there are afraid of white vans. Children are selling dope. And hip hop is the culture of the city.
I can believe it.
And it is a
I can
severely
believe
lacking
it.
city, and there's no disparity of wealth because when you think of rich in Atlanta, I think of a black person. I mean, those are the people in the Lamborghinis. Those are the people in the Rolls Royces. So I don't really see much disparity there. I just see a lot of bad choices. And,
Yeah, well,
and that's the thing.
very
That's why
true. I
people,
don't actually know about it.
There's nothing more better to see when a black man that thinks for himself, And the reason why I got to bring race into this, because people are like, man, why bring race into? Because it's nothing better to see a black man that thinks for himself, that don't vote like his grandmama and his mama, that thinks for himself and votes outside of the 97% of sheep that we continue to see vote every single election cycle for the Democrats. It's nothing better to see a man put a white liberal that's trying to tell him and spew lies about the Republican Party, trying to tell him how to vote and trying to tell him what's going on. And he clearly can sift through and tell her, no, no, no. I'm a black man. I know Atlanta. It's the Mecca. When I think of wealth, I see a lot of rich, successful black folks. Those are the ones that's driving Lamborghinis out there. I also see the infrastructure's messed up. Traffic is bad. The crime is just ridiculous. And it's been the blue, meaning the Democrats, been in leadership all this time. And that you keep trying to overlook these facts that I'm giving you, ma'am. And we know that if it was Republicans, you guys would be highlighting it and it'll be spent like a broken record all over media. So it's just enjoyment to see a man putting someone in their place, especially a Democrat, trying to tell him about the city that he actually lived in. His name is Dom Lucre. He lives in Tennessee now, but I take it that he used to live in Georgia. But I'm going to play some more, and then I'm going to give you some more breakdown.
And that's why people are voting for Herschel Walker right now, because people just want to see a change. They want to take a jump. You know, you say a man that was talking about vampires for 10 minutes straight. This man has a runoff election against Senator Warnock because people are tired of the crime. People are tired of not feeling safe.
Yes.
And people are tired of the Democratic Party.
I understand what you're saying, but
No,
a large amount of the control of dark money in politics does not. I mean, some comes from the Democrats, but the majority
You
of
say
it.
dark money, and this is the thing about
Republicans.
that. And I'll have to interject on that. The dark money thing, you'll say it's dark money because the funders are private, but Democrats are funded by the big pharma who created the FDA.
Well,
But I mean,
yes,
our food and drugs should never be you're funded. They're funded by, and not even that. They're funded also by weapon merchants. I mean, all this stuff is public knowledge. You know, Democrats are actually funded by actual warmongers. So I'm saying I don't understand if anyone's actually that clean.
I disagree with that.
I mean, you can disagree, but BlackRock is a real legitimate company. You can search. That's one of y'all major funders. BlackRock exists. I'm sorry. I'm not making
hitting them with facts.
I do know that. I do know that.
Yeah, BlackRock is one of the largest warmongers there ever been.
I suggest you listen to the podcast by Rachel Warnock.
I'll listen to the podcast.
There's also a book. There's also a book called Democracy in Chains by a woman named Nancy McLean. It's a classic. This explains how the Republicans took power and made an attempt really to take over. And this is even more so with dark money. This is the Koch brothers. They are definitely libertarians and Republicans together. And this started in Virginia, in Charlottesville, after the decision of Brown versus Board of Education in 1954. They've been working on this to gain control, not to help people.
Yeah, and I hear that, and it sounds good, but when I look at all the social medias, and I look at all the medias and major media, I look at all the colleges, universities, all the representation, Netflix, Hulu, none of that stuff is Republican. So I don't understand where the power is if they don't have representation.
And he hit her again with some more facts. She got the nerve to say the Republican Party's dark money. He hit the nail on the coffin when he said their money comes from Big Pharma. We know that they're in cahoots. As you guys see now, Dr. Doolittle has just resurfaced again out of nowhere, and it seems that they're turning on the heat like lukewarm water until it starts boiling. You can see it subtly coming. They're setting themselves up. I see all the videos of what's going on out there in China, how they're forcing people and them locking them down. And we can see the play because it's all about mail-in ballots. We see the play. He's destroying this woman with straight facts. And then when she's talking about, when he's breaking down the social media, we know who all runs all the major institutes in this country. It's the Democratic Party. So, man, miss us with that stuff, man.
It is the
Republicans only have Fox News. How is that compared to Facebook, Instagram, CNN, BET, Met Gala? I mean, hip hop. If you were in hip hop, you can't even put on a red hat and still be on the boards. Like, you can't even be a Republican and represent yourself.
Facts.
You can't. If you are.
Look at the Balenciaga situation right now. Just using these Hollywood people. Holly weird. Look at the Balenciaga situation. All these celebrities, we know they wear Balenciaga. We see them in the photo ops. We see them promoting their stuff on their pages. And all of them are silent with this whole outburst and backlash of what they did with the kids. And now they put out an apology and try to deflect and blame it on the person that did the shoot. And like Kim Kardashian, look how she waited late in the game to see what was going on before she made her statement. All of them are bought and sold sellouts, Hollyweird. But he's right. They control it. You can't speak out or they'll get canceled. It's true.
Or a celebrity and you claim you're a Republican, you get blackballed. Now, how is that freedom?
Okay, look, it's bigger than just.
Yeah, I'll listen to your podcast if you look at the Candace Show or look at or read the book Blackout. You know, I have no problem at reading your content, but could you watch ours as well? If it's mutual, I'll do it.
Okay.
I have no problem in looking at different opinions because I also am very critical of the Republican Party. They're not perfect. They have a lot of flaws. But the thing is, Democrats will never say that about their own party. And that's what disgusts me about it. But I do.
Would Republicans say that about their own party? Do they? Not, of course.
Yeah, they do. They really do. They do.
Yeah.
Even Trump, so critical of his own party. That's why he's arguing with them. That's why he's fighting with them. Yeah, Republicans talk about themselves way more than you ever see any party. I'll die on that. We fight with each other because we talk about each other.
Maybe they talk.
And that's a fact. I don't see the Democrats. We call them rhinos. We have infighting. You know, that's one thing I'll give the Democrats. They have they got party discipline. We don't never see them calling out other Democrats. We don't see them exposing Democrats for fraud and exposing them for buffoonery and things that they shouldn't be doing and poor leadership. We don't see that within the Democratic Party. The only time we see them eating at themselves is when one of them don't support their ideology. That's the only time we don't see them calling each other out. You won't see it at all. So he's speaking real facts. The Republican Party, we are constantly calling each other out.
Talk to themselves, but they also talk about things which have nothing to do with actual democracy.
Yeah, you can say that, but then why is the news media asking Joe Biden what flavor ice cream he eating? You know what I'm saying? What does that have to do with democracy? You know, it doesn't.
Sir, this is the party that tried to.
Ma'am, I understand all of that. I understand that. I understand those talking points.
Well, that is way over the top. This man wanted to make himself president forever. I'm sorry, that's fascism, and that's why.
What's fascism, ma'am, is Joe Biden's son getting $1 billion from Ukraine prior to the war, and them sending billions back to that country. That's fascist. That's very fascist. I don't agree with us sending all our money down there when you have poor kids in Atlanta and homeless in Atlanta. That's not, you see? And that's what we get. Don't call a Republican trying to have me vote for no damn Senator Warnock.
Facts. And that's exactly what you get when you talk with these liberals. That's exactly what you get when you talk to these progressives. That's exactly what you get when you talk to people that support the Democratic Party. They cannot hold their stance. They can't uphold their argument because facts pokes too many holes in it. They can't stand it. They can't take it, which is why they go to extreme extents to silence their opposition. They do it on social media. They do it on media and everywhere else, Hollywood, everywhere else. They can't take it. If your way is so right, if your way is what's best for people, then you're going to have no problem with people that are opposed to it. You should be able to stay strong on your stance. And the fact that she's trying to say that's fascism, what I just described to you is fascism. Everything that they point the finger and say that Republicans are, conservatives are, or people that lean right are, they are the origins of it. They are literally practicing it and doing it now. So, this video was awesome. Shout out to this dude, Dom Lucre. I got to try to connect with him. I want to know what y'all thoughts are. put it in the comments what your thoughts are on this call. Put in the comments, let me know what you think the results and the turnout is going to be with this runoff. This is an important seat for us to get, as you guys know it, man. As usual, you guys know we got a country to save. If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you hit the like, the comment, and the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time I put out a new video. In ending, it's your boy Craig Long 45. You can't make this shit up. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, oi.